Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTWBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. We are playing as the WWE in the year 2015, and we are currently on the Go Home show for Friday Night SmackDown, or the Go Home SmackDown for Money in the Bank. It took me a little while to book this. I did say on the Monday Night Raw video that I really didn't have much of a clue of what I was going to do with SmackDown. I had a few ideas, but not much. And I didn't think it would take me this long, if I'm going to be honest. But I think I finally got the show to where I like it. I did a lot of editing to it. I booked some things. I didn't like them. I took them out. I rearranged things. This took me a little while to book, or a couple days. I'm not going to say like I was non-stop on it, but the times I did focus on it, I'd end up just quitting because I didn't know. And then finally forced myself to do it, but I think I finally found the show I want. Either way, let's run the show before I change my mind, shall we? Let's see how we do today. So we're gonna have 4 pre-show matches. In the first pre-show bout, we have solid in-ring action, but non-existent crowd heat as the Ascension defeats the team of Goldust and Zack Ryder. When Ryder was defeated by Connor with the Fall of Man, got a 52D+. Color commentary gave a boost. That's good. And Connor's improving in performance. Speaking of Connor, he was one of the 2 men that was suspended recently. Him and Adam Rose got suspended on wellness policy strikes. Luckily, not in my world. Oh, there's Adam Rose, too. Or Leo Kruger, as we call him here. Solid in-ring action, non-existent crowd heat. Leo Kruger defeating Bobby Fish with the infamous Kruger end. That deadly finisher that I'm still not sure what it is. 37D-, not the best match. Honestly, probably one of our worst matches we've had. He was off his game tonight. Damn. That sucks. Bobby Fish is improving in flying, though, so I guess that's kind of good, but Bobby Fish isn't under contract. He's a pay-per-appearance, so I would much prefer if it was Leo. Moving on, we have Ryback making his return. Here's a guy who was legitimately suspended in my game, not WWE, but I'm here. Ryback making his return to the company after being suspended, defeating Johnny Goodtime in an extremely short match with the meat hook clothesline. Got us a 51D+. Johnny was off his game. Keep that up, Johnny. You'll find yourself out of the business, or out of my company, at least. And then we go to a 66C+, a match that had some good action and average heat. Kane and the Big Show defeating Mark Henry and Jack Swagger when Show defeated Swagger with the choke slam. Unfortunately, Mark Henry and Jack Swagger don't work well as a team. I'm not necessarily sure if I knew that before, but that's a shame. Real Americans here. Can't do it. Not that I was gonna. Swagger's improving in performance, and Big Show is improving in performance. 66C+ to end off the pre-show. We then go to the opening segment of Friday Night SmackDown, an 83B+. Oh, hell yes. Thank you, Dean Ambrose. That was great. SmackDown starts off with Dean Ambrose making his way down to the ring. Once in the ring, he takes the mic, hypes the crowd up for a bit before getting right to his point, nerds and geeks. He says, so now that the hey, how you doings are out of the way, let's get down to business. Despite Seth Rollins' best efforts this Sunday, I get my hands on that greasy traitor. You see, apparently Seth Rollins didn't get the message. What message, you ask? The message being that I'm freaking indestructible. I made you a promise last year, Seth. That promise was that I would hunt you and never let you successfully cash in that briefcase. Sadly, the docs had other plans. Just like this time around. Did you really think that a couple of doctors were going to stop me from keeping my promise? Because I may not have been there to stop you from cashing in, but on Sunday, I redeemed myself when I climbed that ladder and I become the WWE Champion. Of course, tonight, the authorities got one more trick up their sleeve. Tonight, I team with the primetime players that take on the Upper Cats and The Miz. Honestly, though, it's no skin off my back. I'm not worried about it because tonight I get to go down to that ring and I get to show Seth Rollins what I'm going to do to him this Sunday through his partners, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. And hell, I'll even throw Miz in there too, just because he annoys me. Alright, I don't really know what else he would say. Pretty much just hyping up the segment. I obviously couldn't finish it because you only can write so much. But this is basically just Ambrose psyching up tonight's main event. He'll be teaming up with the Primetime Players, one of the two teams who are the number one contenders for the tag team titles, to take on the tag team champions themselves, and one half of a team that's going to be taking them on, The Miz. Also throwing in a pot shot at Seth Rollins, pretty much. If we remember the history, when Rollins won the Money in the Bank briefcase, Ambrose said that he was going to pretty much stalk and hunt Rollins and make sure he can never cash in that briefcase or never successfully cash it in. And at WrestleMania, that happened, unfortunately. He went through a ladder and he was taken to the hospital. So he wasn't really there to prevent Rollins from cashing it in. And the story that we were telling is that Rollins and the gang sent Ambrose to the hospital, and he's been kind of like held there, like he was being held there. Oh, we have to put him down because he won't let us operate on him. Well, finally, Ambrose has escaped the hospital, and he's come back, and he's getting his damn revenge on Seth Rollins and keeping his promise by taking that title away from him and the Authority. No worker improvements, though. Then the announcers put over that later on tonight, we will indeed see Dean Ambrose team up with Titus O'Neil and Darren Young to take on Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, and The Miz. We then go to a 61C back from our commercial break. Stardust in the middle of the ring, waiting for his opponent to come out. But before he comes out, Stardust takes the mic and he says, "Tonight, once again, you'll have the luxury of watching Stardust take out yet another strong man. That man being Big E of the New Day. What does the E stand for? Does it stand for enormous? Does it stand for extensive? Does it stand for elephantine?" I'm not sure if I pronounced that word right, by the way. No, my dear stars. The E stands for end. Because tonight, just like I did Ryback, and just like I did to Mark Henry, I end Big E. And Stardust getting us a 61C. I don't know what happens when I do Stardust, Nerds and Geeks. I kind of just get into it. Not going to lie. I was looking up synonyms for the word, like, strong or big. I forget what it was. Probably like big. And I looked up synonyms for them, and, enormous, extensive are synonyms. But I also saw, the only other E synonym there was elephantine or whatever that fucking word is. So I threw it in there despite the fact that I have no idea how to pronounce it. Did Stardust improve on microphone? Nope. So we then go on to our match, which is, wow. I was not expecting this to do a 71B. I thought this was going to do like a C. Maybe a C minus. Jeez, a 71B minus. Thank God. Wow, good job, guys. And the match had some good action, but not much weighing heat. Stardust defeating Big E with the beautiful disaster. Unfortunately, Xavier Woods was at ringside. Not that that's unfortunately, because, he did good work, but the reason why it's unfortunate is because I have a beatdown coming up. So I guess what we'll say here is that, Stardust starts beating down on Big E, and then, better yet, I have a better idea. He sees Xavier, checking on Big E, and then he grabs Xavier and tosses him to the steel steps, and Xavier's so fragile or something that, like a referee, that he's out, and then Big E starts fighting back Stardust until Stardust gets the upper hand again and starts beating down on Big E until we hear, "Feed me more." And Ryback races down to the ring to get a 54C minus. Good job, guys. Not too bad, but whatever. It's not too. I guess it could have been better, honestly, now that I think about it. But that's still. I'm all right with that because I was expecting this to be a little worse. So 54C minus. Big E being attacked by Stardust. Ryback comes to the save, and then as Stardust is walking back up the entranceway, Ryback takes the mic and says, "Hey there, little man. You didn't take me out. I'm the big guy, and I'm still hungry. This Sunday at Money in the Bank, how about you finish the job and take me out?" And then, I imagine Stardust is kind of like, laughing at him and, says yes or some shit. And then it's official. It's announced. I just heard. It's been officially announced. At Money in the Bank, we'll see the big guy, Ryback. Why do I sound like Mauro Ranallo? The big guy, Ryback, taking on Stardust. I went from like my trying to do a JR, and I all of a sudden like did a Mar. It's the first time I ever did like a Mauro. I can't pronounce his name. Mauro Ranallo, I think it is. Whatever. So we have that match confirmed, and then we see Ambrose hanging out with the PTP backstage, being interviewed about their upcoming match later tonight. Ambrose takes the mic and he says, "You know, the authority's been trying real hard to get rid of me, and I think it's clear that they don't want me anywhere near the WWE Championship. But tonight seems more like a punishment for the Upper Cats than it does for me. Tonight, I get the team with the baddest tag team in the WWE, the Primetime Players, baby. I've got the big deal Titus O'Neil and Mr. No Days Off Darren Young in my corner, while the Upper Cats, they get the loudmouth Miz, who also just so happens to be one of the men challenging for the titles this Sunday along with my boys here. So I'm not worried about the authorities' plan C. Now you see me and the Primetime Players, all we're worried about and focused on is championship gold, baby." And then I can imagine, maybe Titus O'Neil should have said that, but I had Dean Ambrose only on there, but I can imagine them doing the millions of dollars. Dean Ambrose came across well, but unfortunately, Darren Young performed poorly. All he had to do was stand there. How is he? Whatever. 62C is not too bad. And then we have AJ and Victoria just backstage hyping their upcoming match against Natalya and Paige. I'd imagine them recapping what happened on Monday Night Raw and how Victoria had their back and how they beat them once before or something like that. Victoria did come across well here, so that's awesome. And she's learning to show more charisma, so good for Victoria. But unfortunately, here comes Paige. Here comes Natalya. Oh, they're beating down on AJ. They're beating down on Victoria. What is going on here? Will we have the match? Who knows? 44D+. We're not going to have the match, just so you know. That's the ending segment. They're not going to be able to compete. We then go to a 57C- as we see the Usos in the ring about to compete. But here comes the Wyatt family, and they appear a little distracted. I wonder what's happening here. We then go to a 69C+, and a match had some good action, but not much weighing heat. The Usos defeating what I call the perfect pairing, David Otunga and Curtis Axel, when Jimmy Uso defeated David Otunga with the Alias. David Otunga off his game tonight. That's not a good way to keep your job. Great chemistry on both parts, though, so I'm very satisfied with that. Honestly, I'm satisfied with this rating. That's not too bad for two people that are honestly not doing too good. Or not doing too good, but I meant like in the overness factor. Otunga is improving in Rumble, though, so that's pretty awesome. Look at that, dude. How many... Oh, okay. David Otunga with your poor gimmick. Get out of my face. Who has star quality? David Otunga. Wow. Curtis Axel too? I might have to start focusing on you two more. I mean, the perfect pairing. The reason why I went with that name is obviously Curtis Axel being the son of Mr. Perfect. But David Otunga, being a Harvard snob kind of gimmick right now, I feel like it, makes sense, perfect. Excuse me. We then go to a 58C-. Miz is backstage with the Upper Cats, and they're being interviewed about the match later on tonight when Miz takes the mic. And what a match it'll be tonight. We'll get a little gaze into the future, because tonight I will lead my team into victory, just like this Sunday when I become the WWE Tag Team Champions once again. Then Cesaro puts his hand over the mic and brings it down over to Kid. And Kid says, "Shut up, Miz. Everyone's tired of hearing you talk. Let's face the facts, Miz. Tonight, the only thing you'll be doing is slowing us down. Fact. But you were right when you said we're going to win. Emphasis on us, though. Not really you. But here's another fact for you. Come this Sunday, you won't walk out as the tag team champions. Fact. In fact, you're not even the team we're worried about. Fact. So when it comes to tonight, just stay out of our way, and we'll bring you another W to your column of L's." And I imagine Cesaro and Kid walk away while Miz just looks so frustrated. Natalya did help Kid through the segment, though, so that's pretty rad. Let me look at the dirt sheet out of curiosity. Penalized by Miz only. So good. Tyson Kid got a lot of bonuses there. I'm happy. Ooh, 78B- as we see John Cena backstage being interviewed about his title defense this Sunday. And he says it's going to be a tough one. Alone, Sheamus and Barrett are, dare I say, bad news. But tonight, but together they make a damn good pairing. I kind of miss the days when they didn't get along. But that doesn't change that I've got a job to do Sunday. I'll walk in the payback, the WWE United States Champion. And I intend to walk out the United States Champion. This title means too much to me to let two guys who could care less about what this title stands for and just want to wear it as a trophy. But that's this Sunday. Tonight, Sheamus and Barrett find themselves in tag team action, and I plan to be out there watching every minute of it. So if you'll excuse me. So John Cena pretty much just kind of, getting a little personal here. He's saying, it's going to be a tough defense this Sunday. I got two tough son of a guns in there facing me. But I don't want, they don't appreciate this title. They just want it as a trophy. And they don't appreciate what it stands for. And I'll be damned, is he going to let them? But he's going to do a little bit of ringside scouting. Thanks for the 78B scene. Scene? Who calls him that? Then we go to an 81B. Sheamus and Barrett about to compete with John Cena coming out. And now they're just like, what the hell's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Did Hank Hill just come in my... Damn it, Bobby. Okay, enough of that. Jeez. Stop. 61C. Good match. Wow. Not too bad with Xavier Woods, to be honest. 61C in a match with some good action, but not much weight and heat. Sheamus and Barrett defeat the New Day when Sheamus defeated Xavier Woods with the Celtic Cross. Cena was on commentary for this match, by the way. Sheamus is improving in Rumble, and Xavier's also improving in Rumble, so good for you, Xavier. Dirt sheet-wise, though, I'm pretty sure... Oh, bad news, Barrett. What are you doing? What are you doing, Sheamus? Don't hold back. You're supposed to be tough son of a guns. It's penalized for length. Get out of my face. Okay, coming back from the commercial break. We're automatically starting off the action, nerds and geeks. Apparently. I didn't put anything between these, I guess. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I thought I did. 74B-. Our six-man tag team match of the night. Dean Ambrose and the Primetime Players teaming up to take on The Miz and the Uppercats. In a match with some good action, but not much weight and heat. Dean Ambrose and the PTP defeat The Miz and Uppercats when Ambrose defeated Miz with the headlock driver. We also had some, Mizdow distraction in there. Young is improving in performance. Miz is improving in technical. And Tyson Kidd is also improving in performance. Good match, guys. 74B-. I'm satisfied. And then we go to our closing segment of the night, nerds and geeks. Piper's Pit. Yes, nerds and geeks. Piper's Pit. And you may see nothing's written here. I have something written here. But notice we got a 78B rating. Love it. 78 B rating. Roddy Piper debuted his legend gimmick. Got a 76B. Lana helping Rusev. Daniel Bryan looked good. Many segments continuing on from this. Daniel Bryan is learning to... what am I saying? Daniel Bryan is developing better performance skills, and Randy Orton is learning to show more charisma. I just wanted to get all those out of the way before we get to the actual segment, or before I start reading things. Roddy Piper with low momentum. That's stupid. Okay. So, wow. Good, not a bad rating. I'm happy with that. So, here we go. I have it all written here, nerds and geeks. Let's get ready. So, the ring is set up for Piper's Pit as the Hot Rod himself stands in the middle of the ring. There's been... That's a horrible accent. That's a horrible one, too. There's been many crazy episodes of Piper's Pit in the past. But I don't think any episodes will be crazier than tonight's. Welcome, everybody, to Piper's Pit. And tonight, we're not just having one guest. We're not just having two. We're not just having 3, 4, or 5 guests. Tonight, we'll be hosting 6 guests. Oh, yeah. And those 6 guests will compete this Sunday in a grueling ladder match over the Money in the Bank briefcase. A briefcase that holds the opportunity to cash in at any chance at the world title at any time, anywhere. We've seen many men take advantage of this, and hell, I wish we had one of those back in my day. Maybe then Hogan wouldn't have been champion for so long. Anyway, though, allow me to introduce my guest. Piper then begins to introduce them one by one, starting with Daniel Bryan and ending with the interruption of Bray Wyatt and his Wyatt family making their way to the ring. Although, Wyatt gets in the ring alone. And once all the 6 men are in the ring, Roddy Piper looks at all of them and says, I don't want to keep you all here too long. Mostly because I can feel the tension in the air, and well, anyway, let's just move on, shall we? I only have one question for all of you. And it's the same question. with so much talent in this year's ladder match. And if you ask me, this is the most talented bunch of people that we've had in any Money in the Bank match. I mean, 3 former world champions who just so happened to win this match before in Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, and Dolph Ziggler. And then 3 of the most promising up-and-comers who can break through the glass ceiling at any moment in Roman Reigns, Rusev, and Bray Wyatt. So, my question for you, 6 men. What makes you think you can win? Rusev is the first to take the mic, and he says, why? What a stupid question from a stupid man. Why? Because I am Rusev. I am strongest on the roster. No one can stop me. Not Bryan, not Ziggler, not Reigns, not Bray, and certainly not stupid Randy Orton. I will walk out Mr. Money in the Bank because the Authority always win. Orton grabs the mic away. I don't want to say, okay, ignore that. He doesn't grab the mic away. He takes his mic and says, the Authority always wins? Was that what you were going to say? Yeah? Well, let me tell you something, Rusev. This Sunday, I'm going to personally make sure the Authority loses, because there is no way in hell I'm letting you get that briefcase. I plan on winning. But if I'm being honest with myself, my number one priority Sunday is to lay you out and make sure you don't walk out with that briefcase, no matter what. Then maybe you'll understand to keep your nose out of my business when I cash in and win the WWE Championship. Piper then interrupts and says, okay, boys, let's cool it down a bit, can we? How about you, Bryan? Why do you think you're going to win? Bryan then takes the mic and says, well, aside from being a former winner, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of on a roll lately. And honestly, I've been on a roll since I've returned, and I was on a roll before I got injured. In fact, I've never stopped being on a roll. And while being the Intercontinental Champion is a huge honor, I'd be lying if I said I don't want to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion again. That's why this Sunday, after I win that briefcase, I'm going to follow in the Ultimate Warrior's footsteps and win the WWE World title and the Intercontinental title at the same. And then Dolph Ziggler interrupts and he says, oh God, we get it, Daniel, but I'm so tired of hearing it. You know, I know you're grateful for everything these fans have done for you, but let me be the first to say what's on everyone's minds and say that it's going to your head, man. And all of us are so tired of hearing about it. Let me tell you why I'm going to win. Because I need to win. I need to win so bad. I have been punching at that glass ceiling forever, and I've made a few cracks in it, but I just haven't been able to break through. And this Sunday, I need to break through. And I'm not going to let you and your desires to fall in the footsteps of a legend get in my way. Your career is already made. You retire today, you retire a legend. But this Sunday, I finally break through that glass ceiling. And I don't care if I have to push you off the ladder to get there. Bray then interrupts them and he says, you all don't. Much like Roman over... That's a horrible. That was my worst Bray Wyatt accent ever. You all don't, much like Roman over there, don't seem to understand the meaning of destiny. This Sunday, there will be no breaking through glass ceilings or following the ultimate dream. Y'all just pawns destined to fall at my feet. Piper, takes them again. Oh, hold on a minute, boys. Ease up. Dolph. You think you can beat Daniel? I know I can. I see. And Daniel, you can beat Dolph? Of course, the crowd begins to start chanting, yes, yes, yes. And Daniel says, I'll let the fans speak for me. Piper then looks over at Rusev. Rusev, you think you can beat Randy? And then Rusev says, I already have you, stupid man. Okay, no need to be rude. Randy, you think you can beat Rusev? Not only do I think I can beat Rusev, I know I can beat Rusev. But I'm not only going to just do that. I'm going to do a lot more to Rusev once I get my hands on him. Roddy Piper then goes, easy now. Bray, I don't even need to ask you. You have this whole destiny thing. You think you can beat Roman. And Roman, you think you can beat Bray? Then Roman, would just nod to him. I couldn't keep going on, by the way. Watch it. Like, if I try. Nothing, see? Watch. Hold on. I'll backspace. You can hear me typing. I can't go on, so. I'll just erase all this, but I'll see what's going on. Roman then nods to Piper, saying, yeah, I can beat him. And then Piper goes, all right, I can feel the tension in the air. A lot of people are stepping on each other's toes. There's a lot of hatred here. I can feel it. Here's what I'm suggesting. Why don't Roman team with Bryan and Orton to face Rusev, Bray Wyatt, and Dolph Ziggler right now? And, the three of whoever wins gets a little bit of momentum heading in, and we can finally see who can really beat who. And then all 6 men agree to it, I guess, and we have our main event, Nerds and Geeks. Piper's Pit segment I enjoyed writing. This was the segment I was really happy about. I was looking forward to. Really the only segment I knew I was going to do for sure. We go on to our main event of the night, which does a 67C+. That's it's decent. I expected it to do a lot better, though, to be honest. And about that featured great action and a good crowd. Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan defeat Dolph Ziggler, Rusev, and Bray Wyatt when Roman Reigns defeats Ziggler with the Superman Punch. Randy Orton is improving in Rumble, and Rusev is improving in Rumble and performance. And that ends Friday Night SmackDown with a 75B-, the show increasing our popularity in 23 regions, losing our popularity in 16. Did the Primetime Players and Ambrose do better? Yeah, they did, surprisingly. Huh. That's interesting. Didn't think they would actually do better, to be honest. Interesting. I thought for sure that the Money in the Bank match would do better. Yeah. We have Dustin Reyes. Anyone want to see him come in? Anyone? Let me know, I guess, if you do. American professional wrestler. This is taking a little while. Who wrestles on the independent scene? Oh, there we go, finally. I didn't even get to finish, though. Keith Myatt. I don't know who that is. Go down here. Damn, we're third. Come on, Dragon Gate. Get out of here. Get out of here. Mascarada Sagradas Jr. Is that the dude from Lucha Underground? Well, he's unemployed now, but was he in Lucha Underground? Let's see. Employment history. No. Is he a midget? He has to be, isn't he? That's what they're all about, right? He's lightweight. Luchador. I don't think he's a midget. I could be wrong. I only know it's Mascarita, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm mistaking the two. We have some people with minor morale issues. Oh, dude, Mike Tenay will start tomorrow, so he won't be available for TNA. Or won't be available for NXT. Okay, Randy, let's negotiate, shall we? Complete our contract. There we go. Cool. All right, nerds and geeks, let's check the storylines before we end this episode off. Oh man, that's a shame. Okay, well, I guess it did affect it a little bit. Well, that's a bummer. Either way, though, let's end this episode off. My name's been OMGWTF, LOLFTWBRB. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, Facebook, and Twitter to help us grow. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy.